100 years ago, people made things to last. Today, we're making things to not last. So in 20 years, what's going to be of the year 2010? There's going to be an emptiness there.
Emptiness.
Empty.
I have a problem with that word. I don't know if it's the correct word. Like you're between a tradition or individualism. You're between collective, singular. To me, emptiness seems a little bit, I don't know, it seems incorrect. Can anybody think of a different word that could be appropriate?
Muddiness.
Muddy? Okay, yeah.
Disconnected.
Disconnected? Okay. But that's weird how Lipovetsky has taken muddiness or murkiness and made it into emptiness. Like if you can't see anything, you can't see, well, you see nothing. So it is empty. Well, I've just reconvinced myself. All right, well. Okay, next. I don't want to not waste, but I don't want to use too much time on Lipovetsky because I think a lot of us got a lot out of the Death of Media reading. So let me throw out initial question here. According to the text or whatever you think, what does it mean to be a citizen? What does citizenship mean in a democratic society? Voting? No, that's not it, right? That's not enough. What does it mean? Perhaps thinking of the types of information we have. We have passive information, we have active information, and we have participatory information. So what do you guys think what does it mean to be a citizen?
Today.
Today, yes.
I guess kind of having opposing viewpoints. There's the idea of obviously we're not all going to agree passive versus aggressive. So, and some people disagree with everything.
Right, and if you're not allowed to disagree, well then, we have no disagreement. And a major issue in the text, right? Which is what? What is the major issue? What's the death of the media? We can paraphrase it. We have, yeah. Right. Yeah, it doesn't reflect a plural society, and it also suggests a big contradiction, because democracy is majority rule. That sounds kind of aggressive. It sounds kind of violent, but it is practical. It works. But then a totally plural society, is that functional? It sounds good. Can it happen? Is it possible? Does everybody have a voice? It calls to mind there's a subtle conflict between the concepts of identity and perspective. And you can make the argument both ways. One of them is active and the other one is passive. And the Death of Media, the Schechter text, is suggesting that the information needs to be there in order for you to construct your identity and then hence your perspective. That's
when the information is leading to that.
Okay.
But when the information is nothing more than the reflection of the power interests, then that information won't give you the power.
no.
Okay?
It's a mirror, like you were saying.
Yes, in some sense, Schechter is saying that the death of the media means that the media is committing suicide. It's not somebody killing the media, but it's the media killing itself. Because originally the media is thought like, we can use this common idea, like the what's the name in English? The guardian dog? No, the
Watchdog?
The watchdog, yes. The watchdog, of the rights of the society, in front of the powers, in front of the government, in front of the politicians, in front of the... So the media is this kind of, spectrum that is, all the time watching that nobody abuses from nobody. The power doesn't abuse from the non-power. But when media switches its interest and start reflecting much more the interest of those in the power, then it starts committing suicide. What's the meaning of having a media that way? So I think the Schechter is saying that we have to kill this new media and try using a lot of things that are appearing right now, including new technology, to build again a media that depends more on the public opinion and not the opinion of the powerful.
Yeah, he used the word ideology, programming based on ideologies. Did anybody recall that from the text? What's the result is basically what Enrique just said. When you program based on ideology, well, you're just preaching an ideology, and you're not promoting. Well, what's not being promoted is the issue here. It's no longer a media, but what specifically is not happening. If you're being dogmatic and you're promoting an ideology, you're preaching. Well, what is not happening? Anybody have an idea? Or if you're
Public is silent.
yeah, totally passive. Yeah, consumer. Yeah, they're. What's my favorite phrase from this book is programs exist not for the viewer's information, but to give eyeballs to the advertisers. I mean, so it's a cycle, right? And it feeds itself, right? It's like the machine in the readings for the last class, where the values are the same. They're just, same song, different tune. Values X here, values X there, X there. Same value being regenerated. No, it's almost a perfect machine. Okay.
Can I say my favorite phrase from
Yeah.
the book? If we had a better media, we'd have a better president. That's a great one.
Or a better partner. Okay. Speaking of mixing things up like that, it mentioned The Sopranos, which I happen to like a lot, that TV show. It says we learn more, or we discuss more, promotes more debate on shows like The Sopranos than it does from the media. And then it talked about how news programs are becoming more comedy shows, where people get their news from comedy shows. I think that's true. Or they get it from other sources. So if you get your news from comedy, how's that going to affect your outlook on life?
Can I repeat that? I think that is a very important issue here. A lot of people today are engaged from these TV series. Could be comedies or dramas or whatever. And they have the sense, these consumers have the sense, the feeling that through these kind of shows, they're more linked to reality than watching news.
Yeah.
What's going on?